Hi, this is Dorothy Kilty. My YouTube channel is at DA Kilty. Thinking about changing the name, but right now that'll get you there. And this is my January 2023 design team project. The kit, the Bluebirds journal pages, was created by Natalie Heine, and this is a gorgeous kit. I've been working with it now for several videos. I do want to let you know that if you go to the link tree, which is listed right here, and which will be posted below, then you can see the whole kit and see what other people are doing and what I have done. Okay, so that'll be awesome. Now, what are we going to do today? Okay, I am going to, we're going to put the cover on the journal. There's a few other things we're going to finish doing. And I am just using up all my scraps at this point from the kit to do some decorating and adding a few more things to it. So, super fun, I think. I'm excited. I've had a great time working on this. Now, some of these tags I printed on cardstock, and some of them I just printed on paper. Now, when you print them on paper, you can put them on something else that gives you a journaling back, and this does not have to be heavy paper. This is the inside book of a book. Is it the fly page? I think it's the fly page. Anyway, so I just pasted these on there. And for the fun of it, let's see if we can get these straight. What do you say? Okay, so I'm going to trim these and separate them. Now, I have some of the tags that I just put on, I just glued straight to the paper. But one of the things that's kind of fun to do is to use these for, let's go over a tiny bit, to make pocket tags out of them. Well, see, even with a cutter, I can't cut straight. Imagine that. Okay, I think that I saw this at a paper output video, but it was a long time ago, and I've done it quite a few times since then because I like this effect. Okay, what we have here, you can just use coffee dyed paper, book paper, music paper, whatever you want to do this. But what we're going to do is just fold this up barely over the edge, and that makes a pocket at the bottom. Now, what's fun about this, if you have a real thin background paper, then cut it long enough so that you can fold it up here and then fold it up again to make a pocket. I like to keep as much of the tag as I can, especially when it's this pretty. So this is making the tag about 1 inch longer. And I just use the width of the fly pages that I had. All we need to do is, come on, glue, cooperate with me today, please, is just run a little line right along here on each side. And there we have our pocket. And we'll come back and decorate the front of this in a little bit. So again, I am going to trim this down. I'm going to fold it up, and I'm just eyeballing it to just a little bit over the bottom of the page. Okay? And then we'll glue it. Then once we, I often end up printing things on paper instead of cardstock, and sometimes I just use them for collaging, just cut them apart. And sometimes I go ahead and do this with it. Okay, so here is our cutting the top of the tag. And as I said, we'll come back in just a minute. I see you're going to be stubborn with me. If things are not sticking, I'll just take some sort of clips and clip the sides in just until they dry. Okay, let's see how this one is doing. Yeah, that's... Excuse me. Okay, we'll clip this here just until they're dry. And that, I was using Fabri-Tac glue, so it generally does dry pretty quickly. So we'll be able to play with it shortly. Now, one of the things when you're doing this to if things are not coming together quite the way you like, the edges are a little rough and things, you can visually cover things by inking around them, which we'll do too. But you also can smooth the edges just by taking some sanding paper or a sanding block and going up around the sides. It does another thing, which is kind of cool. It softens the edges of the paper when you sand it like this, and then it takes the distressed ink even better. So I don't know if you can see here, but this is a little bit... I cut it not quite straight, and it was a little bit bigger. The brown was showing through. So just by sanding it off, I can smooth the edges down. And if the sanding paper does take a little bit of the design off, which it's doing here, then the ink will come through and cover that up for us, okay? So another thing that I'm doing, this is using index cards, and these can be used as a pocket in the journal, or they can be a journaling card. So I like to decorate the white side and leave the line side on the back for journaling, okay? So again, I'm using scraps. I'm using some of the scraps that I have left over from the journal. Let's see, I have some strips here. I have the collage cover sheet. I have some more of the collage cover sheet. Here's a tag. This is one that I glued on that flyback paper, and I went ahead and just cut off the edges and put a little eyelet in there. There we go. These are the wrong scissors. I need to get those out of the way. They just keep getting in the way, okay? So I love to use these in little collages like on the front of the pockets there. Okay, and we have some bigger pieces and some of these. One of these. Looks like I used the rest of them. These did get printed on cardstock, so they can be used just like that in the journals. So let's go back to my card. My journal card, and this will be the top. And let's just see what kind of a collage we can come up with. This is so pretty. And, you know, because I'm using the actual paper, you know, they're all going to match. It's going to be gorgeous. Okay, but you can also dig into your scraps and add some other things to the collage. Maybe music paper or other things that you want to use. This is a very old tablet. It's got really, really thin lines, and I just think it's pretty. So, let's see, if we do that, we can use a strip. I'm going to put this up at the top and tear this off. I'm doing a super simple collage here, so nothing fancy about it. I like to use the torn edges going up. Here we go. And like that. What have we got here? Looking for something that I think is interesting to add over there. I think I'm gonna tear this bit off. Let me go up here. Am I not on my... Was I off camera? Shame on me. Okay. This. I'm just sticking these over the edge because what I will do is I will trim off from the back when I more or less have them done. And then I also have these left. I'm going to put some of these, I have other places in mind for some of these, but this can also, these can be used for a very pretty little accent on the cards. Let's see if we can get some of this glued down. So, okay. And I like to use sometimes paper that has writing on it too, where people have made notes about something that was going on at some point. Okay, let's just, as you can see, I'm not quite sure what was on the back of this, but nothing I wanted to use, that's for sure, in the journal. But it's great for collaging and gluing it down. Now I'm going to just tear around these flowers just a little bit, just to give, like I said, a little more interest or something to the edge of this. And I'm going to do that at the bottom too. I'm going to go ahead and leave the straight sides on this, in this case, and I'm going to put it right there. Actually, maybe I'll move it over just a tiny bit. Okay. Now I actually added a couple more papers. I was not happy with the way the journal didn't open up from the back, so you see that. I added a half page so that it would do what it's supposed to do. So, take this. Okay, we'll take this and put the bloom. And as I said before, I like the lines, so I'm just going to leave them there. We'll overlap this a little bit. Now we'll go to the back of the index card, trim off everything that doesn't belong. I may add a little cluster or some ribbon to the top of this. We'll see when I actually get it into the journal. I need to be a little bit more organized with where I'm putting my finished things. Let me just stick them right up here. Okay, now let's do another one. Another index card. Again, I'm checking. You don't have to check and make sure this is the top. I guess that might be a little bit anal on me, but you know what? That's okay. All right, I'm going to sort of see where this is and tear it off. So once again, this has stripes. This could be put on the back as a journaling point or something like that. I just like it, so I'm just going to use it. This is actually upside down, but I like having the blue edge in the bottom corner. In this case, because I'm using that whole thing for a background, I'm just going to go ahead and, you know, add my Scotch Create glue to the whole back. Now we'll line it up, starting in the corner. I'm a terrible liner upper, aren't I? Now the other thing you can do if you make a mistake like that is just trim it off. It's no big deal. Okay? In this case, I also have one of these birds, and when I cut it out, I didn't completely cut around this this branch because I thought it made it too fragile in his legs, and I thought they might go away. Now what I'm going to do here is take this distress oxide, and I'm going to go over this a little bit. I'll go over the edges, but also just go over where the legs went through. It'll kind of blend, and because this is so close to it, okay, so we want him there. What else do we want? I kind of don't like the branch coming out of nowhere. What do we have here? These were some of the strips that I was using for the dangles I was making. Here we go. Okay, let's put this right along this edge. Let's cut this out so I know where the edge is. Now, as you can see, this isn't sticking right here, but it's no problem to go back and add a little bit more glue to it. You know, I just changed my mind. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this kind of gorgeous peacock feather, and we're going to put this, make it a pocket on the pocket, okay? I'm going to go ahead and ink this. Let's cut it off. I want it to sort of mirror the shape a little bit. I cut this off because I wanted a slanted corner on one of the pages, and so this is what was left of that, and I'm going to turn this around, and no, I'm not. I'm going to put this right like this. Okay, so sort of fanning out from the side. Let's cut this off. Again, when I actually put these in the journal, I may decide to add a few more things, maybe another little cluster or things to these. But for now, this is going to make a nice little tuck spot. I'm just going to put the glue on two sides of it. So we'll have a tuck spot in front of the pocket, like this. This one of these cards would fit in here just fine. See? And then you put it on, we'll have a pocket. Okay, let's leave these scraps here. Throw a few of these little bitty ones away. I don't want to mess with them. And even this, this W, you know, that's kind of cool for a cluster or something. So let me push this up aside. And actually, let's take these and put them aside. Okay, I'm gonna put these aside too. They're all going into the folder over here for right now. And I want to show you what I'm doing with the cover of this. What I have is I have this picture, and to be honest with you, I'm not even sure where I got it, but I thought it was so gorgeous. If you take a look at this picture, what I knocked my camera, shame on me. What I've done is this is just a gold foil paper. You could use Christmas wrap or whatever. And I just measured roughly about a big 1/4 inch around the outside of this. And then I can take this picture and glue that, and it will make a border. I had intended to gild the edge of this, and I'm just now realizing I didn't do it. So I may come back and do that later, or I may not. Let's put this on the back. Try and center it as nicely as we can. Now I'm going to put her on top of this lace. This is a vintage lace, and it was actually it went around the neckline of a dress or something, and I've cut it off and cut it up. And so I'm using my Fabri-Tac glue. And run it over the cover. See about how far I want to go. Not like that. But I'm also going to run some, especially on the sides here, where they might come up a little bit. And the crocheted scalloped edging on it. So we'll put that along there. And okay, let's put this down. Okay. And I'll trim that off once it's dried. Trim it off to the edges. Do I want to wrap it around? I don't think I do. I think I just want to cut it off. Well, so that was dumb to do in that case. So, and then this now can be glued. Now what I decided is I wanted to see the green border, but I wanted to kind of keep it to the top because this lace, this beautiful blue lace that I got someplace, is going to go on top. The green background and the blue, I think, blends with these, the beautiful colors in this photo. So I think that's looks nice. So again, I wrapped this, folded this paper. I didn't even glue it down because I knew that the glue, when I glued it to the cover, would hold it in shape. Okay, how about right like that? Okay, so I do like the way the gold sets off the picture of the woman. Okay, and now I'm gonna stick some glue around this lace. So I'm not as worried about the center. I will put some glue in the center, but I do want to get the edges pretty well because it'll help hold it down in place a little better. So we will put a little bit around the center of these flowers. Also, I cut these close to the edges of the flowers, but not right exactly to it. I started cutting it real close, and then I got worried about losing the lace itself. So now, take it and put it across that. And I like that. This has been sitting on my desk for a few days with just kind of clipped in place so I could decide how I wanted it. Did I want the lace to go cover up the picture or not? And this is what I decided was the best way. Now we have some more things to do in this journal, so I am going to clip these on a little bit to hold them in place. You can't see it, but I've got some wax paper here, and so I can lay things with glue down on them, and they're okay. Okay? So now, get one more. Here. I actually don't like these clips quite as much because they do stick a little bit, but there we go. Now you also can, you know, push these down. You can put something on it. But let's take a look at what the journals, what's happening with the journals now. So I've got pockets. As you can see, this was a folded paper that we did in one of the other videos, and I've just stuck a couple of our tags in them and put them in here. This is one of the ones that I wanted to add a little bit more to. And my thought was, that adding these on, using them as a tab, would be perfect. Now I want to put a little distress oxide, this is Vintage Photo, along the side of this, and then I can just glue it right over here. It's no longer a tag, now it's a tab on the edge of my page. Okay, so we'll sunshine. I like that. I like the fact that that's gonna kind of stick out a little bit and we can see it. Okay, I also could add other things to here. Maybe I'll come back, but right now I think it's just fine. So here we have just the bird with a plain background. Because this background is really busy, complicated, I thought having the simple pocket was good. And then this is also a tuck spot, so something can be tucked in there as well. Okay, this was the pocket that we cut off the side of and are just using it as a tuck spot. Here's a side of one of those pages, and this is the envelope that was made. This could have a letter inside. A lot of times I like to put vintage stationery inside for people to write on. Again, we have one of Natalie's envelopes, very pretty, tucked into this pocket. Okay, I've got two tuck spots here, one on each side, and we have this envelope. Now this envelope still has some things in it. These are on paper instead of cardstock. Actually, I'm going to pull them out right now. But that's kind of fun. But you can see that, you know, it can be tucked between. You could have something here, something coming down, whatever you wanted. Again, this is just a corner of the paper, and I did add some flowers alongside of it. And here we have our beautiful bird again with a tag and a tuck spot. This is really almost done. This was actually a scrap from the Edith Holden book that I had laying around, and I thought cutting out those birds made a really nice pocket, and it can hold, you know, some pretty big things. Okay, this is the page we made. Here we have the sideways tag as a pocket and another pocket above it, and I've stuck a couple things down. In this case, on this one, I am going to add a bow to it. I think that would be fun. So let's get out the crocodile. to me, a crocodile well worth the money. It took me a little while to figure out how to use it. I actually had to find a video on how to use it, and it wasn't the company video, I might add. But once I figured it out, I thought it was great. So this is going to go through here. It kind of looks like a flower. And now I will use my crocodile to punch the hole. Oh, I do that all the time. Okay, now we can add some ribbon to this. And I have this, it's kind of like a little braid ribbon, but I think it's so pretty. So we will take a piece of that off. And this doesn't match perfectly, but I think it blends well with the other flowers here, a little darker, so it enhances it a little bit. So I've cut off a length, and I'm going to start by putting this through here. Now, as I come up here, I'm going to twist it. And then feed these two through the twisty hole and make sure I'm doing this right since I'm on camera. It might be. Okay. This actually ties a little bit of a knot. Because of the direction I tied it, it's kind of backwards, but it makes more of a knot. And you can see on this side, you've got the, can you see on this side? You've got the knot there looking over it, okay? All right, now this is a 2 side pockets, and it's 1 strip covered down the middle, and we're going to go over how to do that in just a second. Here's a top flip. This is the half page I added right here to this, so that this booklet would now open the way it's supposed to be, which is to come over to the back, you lift it up, it works. Isn't that great? Okay. What I want to do on this page is to put a pocket there. So, I think I'm going to put the pocket this way, the tuck spot. So I'll glue it around here. You'll have this tuck spot and this tuck spot. And I'm just going to cut the corner off here. Now you can see it would fit across here fine. And maybe it'd even be good with the bird peeking out. I want, because these lines are going across, I want these to go up and down. Now remember, there's lines on the back of this, so it could have been a journaling card, but in this case, we're just going to make it into a pocket. Okay, so I'm putting the glue along the bottom and the top. We'll put it in place here. And I will put a clippy here to kind of hold it in place. Now, ordinarily I would clip it here. Let's see if I can do that. Oh yeah, nothing here. So here's a pocket that I made out of the a piece of paper, and here's a belly band, just a strip of paper. I didn't dress it up. I may in the future, I may do it today, but for right now, it's going to hold tags. This whole journal will be holding tags. All of these background sheets are pretty plain, and so I was able to use some of the beautiful designs like the peacock to dress this up. Okay, let's open this up a little bit like this. Okay, let's get you out of the way. That's an even better idea. Okay, now this pocket, what I want to do with this is to put it in the center of these 2 pages. And you can see on this side, this is where we tape the pages together. So I've taken it and I've cut it to the right size. I've folded it in half so I know where it's going to fit into the center fold. I'm going to start out by running some glue across here and across here, and then trying to get it right on this, or you can go right down the center of here. Either way, we want to secure this, especially since it's a hinge. We want it as secure as possible. Make sure it's upside right. If you actually fold the page along here, you can slip it in right where the center is, and then you can take this, run a bead of glue across the top and across the bottom, and hold it in place. So again, I'm clipping them because I'm messing with the pages, okay? So, but you do want to make sure that that's tucked in and glued into that center fold. Okay, so now let's go back to our journal. Okay, these 2 pages. I thought this was lovely, so I went ahead and made a huge tuck spot here. This one, card, this is a index card, and I've got a little tuck spot here and a little tuck spot here. These were made many years ago by the wife of a very good friend of mine. She's passed away now, and there were some things like this in the house, and he said I could use them, which I think is fabulous, because she did a lot of pressed flowers. She made cards with them. She just did gorgeous work, and it is an honor for me to be able to use them in my creations. So we'll go ahead and just tack that down. I think I want to get this one too. Okay, it could possibly come up over here, but I think if we're a little bit careful, it'll be fine. This is the top, and this is the bottom pocket. This is not a double pocket. I just added this butterfly border to dress it up. Again, it was some of my scraps. And then this is Edith Holden. I'd love to find a bee card or something to put in here, and I may do that. Okay, this is a belly band. And when I made this belly band, because I wanted to cut around the butterfly, I glued a piece of cardboard to the back. It goes about this high and comes down to about here. And so these wings would be reinforced when I cut them out, so hopefully they won't sustain as much damage. Okay, we have that peacock again. Like I said, I love it. So now we're gonna fold this over, and we're back to the front. Now, I'm gonna go through, let's get some of these things we've made out, shall we? And we may put some things in pockets and possibly dress some things up as we get to them. Okay? Let's go back up here. This pocket, one of these would go in just fine, or you can put a bigger tag or just a plain blank piece of paper. This, there we go. This has got something. This does not have a tag. Oh yeah, it does, has a tag in it. Could take a bigger one, so we can put a folded over piece of Edith Holden paper in it. Again, this is fine. Both of these have something in them. All these pockets could hold more. Okay, this could hold. Okay. On this one, what if we took some of these? And this was on the miniature version of this, and they kind of reminded me of tickets. So I cut around them, but I didn't cut them apart. I thought that sometimes I might use them separately as decorations, and I could cut them apart at that time, or I could just use them as tickets, or I could use them the way I am here as a decoration on a pocket or something. Okay, so these are got things in them. This doesn't have anything in them. So let's take this journaling card and put it right there. And then this is one of those just a tag that I had reinforced, so we'll stick that in there for right now. We're Edith Holden. I think Edith Holden would be great there too, so we'll let it go. Come over on this side and open it up. We have a pocket and pocket. I'm going to put this right here, and then let's pull this aside for just a second. We have one of these tags, and we have the same lace that we used at the top. So I am going to put that lace here. Let me see. Okay. And let's put, no, that's too big. It just is too big. Let's put another Bluebird on here, shall we? Just tearing this apart. More Fabri-Tac glue. On there. Now, we could punch a hole and add string. He can go right the way he is. One of the things when I'm getting ahead of myself, but I want to remember what I'm planning on doing, and I'm afraid the glue may not be dry, I will just wrap it in wax paper. Okay? So now this could have a little, this is a pocket, so it can have a little something tucked into the pocket, and it can go here. The wax paper will make sure it doesn't glue together. Okay, we have another pocket here. What do we have here? Okay, here's another one of these that needs decorating. We have, let's see, not this. Okay, we can take a little bit of this. Let's take this and glue it right across the top. As you can see, I have the master page, the cover sheet page, on the back of this. Okay, I don't care that the writing is upside down on here. If you do, then that's something, of course, to be aware of. But I think it's just fine the way it is. And then, what do we have here? I want to put a couple of these across the bottom.
We've got a little bit of a problem with snow and ice, but we should be able to make it.
Okay. Now this, once again, we have a pocket here. These are printed on cardstock, so I'm just gonna love and share. How's that? This will be able to go right in here. I tried doing some fancier things with wax paper, but mostly for me, it's just the magic wrap. Okay, let's get this back over here. We have a belly band. I think, again, Anita's Holden page. You know, we could do this. Okay, this is half a page. I don't like cutting that poor bird's head off. Okay. That would be nice if I could fold straight. Okay, now, this is instant journaling space. So we can tuck it under here, under this belly band, and there we go. Okay, again, we've got these folders. Take the clips out now. Okay, we can put things inside here. This large pocket. Here we have this one. Let's put okay, this this was not printed on cardstock, it was printed on paper. So I'm taking the cut off a piece of the index card. We'll glue this on. Now you can trim this like I'm doing. Doesn't matter if it's not perfect. We just want to reinforce it so that it's not going to fall apart. You could actually leave that white there and just ink it to give it a little bit of, you know, so it fades away into this a little bit. Okay, and let's put you right here. I think he's sitting long enough so these clips can come out. Okay, again, gorgeous. Look at this beautiful card. I'm just going to stick you there. So my intention is that this will go for holding, oh, that's not glued in. That's why it's there. So you can see that this is just paper that I glued onto the back. I did fold over the top and the back to make this belly band a little bit roomier. We'll put some glue on it. Okay, and we'll let that dry. Okay, and now this folds over, and we open it up to this front side. Please tell me that worked right. No, I still have it not right. Close enough. The only thing that I'm going to do to hold this together is I'm going to take a piece of ribbon and I'm going to glue it onto the back. I decided I wanted this to be the back of it. I'm going to glue it across the back and then bring it across here and tie it in a bow. And then that's done. So I really want to thank Natalie for allowing me to be part of this this Bluebirds kit journal pages and being part of the design team project for January of 2023. LineDotArrow Facebook page and the link tree with all the information of who's doing what for these will be below. And by the way, now that I'm done with my design team project, what do you think this is going to be? Collage fodder. Love it. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. I would appreciate it if you would like and subscribe my channel. Go to YouTube, and I'm at DAKIELTY. Please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, please post them. Feedback is greatly appreciated, and I hope you enjoyed this project. Thank you.